It's a pleasure to be here, Mr. Dance.
Spinazzola, but that's not easy for me to say either.
Mr. Dan, when you were my age, did you already know that you wanted to be part of the food industry?
Not even close. The only food I was interested in was what my mother cooked for us. I ate that. I love that food. That was all good Italian food. So it never in my mind, I never got into the food industry or the thought until after I got out of college, did a couple of jobs, and then went to work for a company called Jack in the Box. And I became an officer of Jack in the Box, and that was my first real exposure to food.
Who or what inspired you to go into the food service business?
Who, I can tell you exactly who. A fellow by the name of Mike Rogers, who was a restaurateur here in San Diego, and he was a restaurateur with another two friends of mine named Bob Payne and Jack Goodall. In fact, Bob Payne and Jack Goodall both received the honors from Junior Achievement. They were just wonderful people to me and helped me get started in the food business.
With all the produce that you supply to Subway, what's your favorite sandwich?
I'm supposed to answer that with a vegetable sandwich, right? But that's not my favorite sandwich. My favorite sandwich is called a BMT, which has some salami, pepperoni, some ham, and then produce on top. That's my favorite one.
I like the pastrami melt and the carved turkey and bacon one.
You're a good customer. Maybe that's how I can afford to have this business. keep on buying.
What's one piece of business advice that kids should take?
Well, I've got about 120 of those, but let me just break it down to a couple. You have the good product. You have to have a need for it. You have to do research to make sure that that product is necessary. You have to understand how to make that and make it last, and determine whether or not you can provide that product on a daily routine basis. But after all that stuff's in a nice pile, you have to have the money to make it work. Budgeting. You've got to know, make sure that the amount of money you have available to you will be able to provide all those things necessary to make that a successful business.
Why do you think the Junior Achievement Program is so important?
The Junior Achievement teaches kids at a young age, 5 and 6 and 8 years old, how to go to a bank, how to withdraw money, how to buy things, how to pay for things, how to budget money on if you have a job that pays a certain amount of money, you can only afford a certain amount for your house and for your car. But if you spend too much for your house, too much for your car, you're not going to be able to survive because you don't make that much money. Junior Achievement teaches you how to do all that. It's probably one of the most important things that's happening in today's education.
Thank you, Mr. Spinazzola, for taking your time to let me interview you.
Well, Paul, thank you for asking so many great questions. I think first thing I would do in my new business would be hire you, I think.